Nu, pat aizvadīta Latvijas 107. dzimšanas diena, kad militārajā parādē līdzās mūsu aizsardzības un iekšlietu spēkiem soļoja arī sabiedrotie no daudzām valstīm, un viņu vidū, protams, arī no Kanādas, valsts, kas vada NATO daudznacionālo brigādu Latvijā.
Šorīt studijā par kanādiešu karavīru klātbūtni, mūsu kolektīvās drošības spēcināšanu un ģeopolitisko risku pārvarēšanu mēs sarunāsimies ar Kanādas vēstnieku Latvijā, Brianu Svorku, un arī Kanādas bruņoto spēku pavēlniecības Latvijā komandieri pulkvedi Džimu Smitu.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to have you here in our studio. Ambassador, Canada today leads NATO's multinational brigade in Latvia, and earlier it became the first G7 country to ratify Latvia's NATO membership, as we know. And even earlier, Canada offered a new home to many refugees from Latvia as well after World War II, including our ex-president Vairvīģa Freiberga among them. What creates this strong understanding? How would you assess between our countries? It feels more like just a technical partnership.
Well, good morning again, and thank you for having us. You are absolutely right. Canada has a long-standing connection to many people throughout the world who were fleeing tyranny at home and sought refuge. And so we have a history, and over the generations, we built very close relationships, especially with Latvians who were in Canada. And so Canada always stood by a free and independent Latvia. And as you mentioned, those dates were very particular and symbolic and important in acknowledging Latvia's freedom publicly. And in 2017, when our Canadian Armed Forces first arrived in Latvia to take on this role as the leader of the NATO multinational presence here, our ties grew more broad and deeper. And today we have over 2,000 Canadian soldiers serving alongside Latvia and 12 other NATO allies. And we have real connections between people, Latvian origin and also Canadians from Canada who are serving here for either 6 months or for a few years.
About those deep ties, as you say, Colonel, what does this Latvia-Canada special connection mean actually for those Canadian soldiers? As you mentioned, there are more than 2,000 of them serving here as part of the brigade. Does it add a special value for them as well, or would professional soldiers serve anywhere with the same attitude, with the same commitment, simply because that's their duty?
Thank you. And again, it's been a privilege being here for this is my second year here, and it's been fun waking up the last 2 mornings with snow on the ground, because it does bring back a little Canadian. You know, when I was asked 10 years ago why Latvia, I had friends from Latvia, and it made sense. Like, whether it's the partnership with hockey and having Kasper Dovin just being recognized, the former Ottawa senator where I come from in Canada, it just makes sense. We have the same values. Where I live in Latvia, we're out amongst the trees, and it's very much like small town Canada or the prairies. And so there is a natural feeling of connectedness. Yes, the language is a barrier, but it's also an opportunity for us to explore and understand a little bit more about Latvia. The Canadians absolutely love being here. We have many soldiers who have been here on their 4th and 5th mission now. We have Canadians who have rotated back. There's family ties now between Canadians that are serving here and those who have not. And so over the years, we've grown from having a presence of 35 Canadians living here to now over 100 Canadians with their families that live here as part of the military presence. And absolutely, we've gone from a battle group of about 800 Canadians here to this brigade leadership task of over 2,000. So people are very energized and love serving here in Latvia.
I actually kind of feel what you are saying because about these familiar connections, because I also live in Ādaži, where a lot of Canadian soldiers also live, and I can feel this lovely connection between Latvians and Canadians as well.
Absolutely.
And yeah, same values, maple leaves from place to place, and snow even, as you mentioned. But in the past few years, they have been really difficult for Europe's geopolitical sense for Europe and in Western unity. So finding common ground in responding to Russia's aggression and defending our values and security. In your view, has this geopolitical turbulence done more harm, or maybe has had also some positive, perhaps immunizing effect, as we could call it, in sense helping us to listen to each other more carefully or understanding each other better, strengthening our bonds?
I like to see the positive. I think that the discussion and the debate that's surrounded this geopolitical turbulence has helped us really reflect and understand the problems that people see abroad. And we do recognize as Canadians that the investment in Latvia really is an investment in our own security as well. And so I think you're going to see that continued presence, that long-term commitment to the Baltics, to Latvia, because it does commit to the overall NATO as well as the Canadian security.
Ambassador, yesterday on Latvia's Independence Day, our President Edgars Rinkevičs said, if we don't listen to opposing views, our own views lose their meaning. If we become self-righteous, we will lose one another, and we need each other more than ever. This seems relevant actually not only in Latvia, but also regionally and globally, but in the current secure climate with so many risks and also threats. Do countries still have the motivation actually to listen to each other, to understand, and maybe even to support each other?
It's a very good question. I think the issues that you're discussing here in Latvia are very much relevant throughout the world. Even in Canada, we're having similar discussions. And if you look at the reason why Canada, Latvia, and our allies are part of this organization, NATO, it's because we want to protect our values. We want to stand up for freedom. We want to stand up for freedom of speech. And when we do so, we also need to respect the value of that, because not everyone has that ability. So as we engage in free speech, very important that we listen to each other and share ideas. And so I think within the NATO alliance in particular, the last years have had a bonding effect. And I think it has really opened up the level of understanding between NATO allies, our communications of what are the challenges that we're each facing, and a commitment to work together to improve our situation and strengthen our alliance.
In terms of bonding, Colonel, you also said that how Canadians feel here, like something reminds them as was and is in Canada, but in multinational missions, many elements must be aligned: technical skills, training, communication, mutual understanding. How would you describe or even evaluate the brigade's work so far? How well the different nation units have actually fitted together into one effective force rather than separate groups of soldiers from different countries and different nations?
Yes, thank you. And I think what we're getting after is trust. And trust is really built through communication and shared experience. And having been in here now for many years, we've gone through sets and reps, lots of exercises, lots of activities, lots of missions. And we've built that level of trust with all the sending nations. We are much stronger as one big unit because of the diverse values that we bring and the diverse perspectives that we bring to it. But I assure you, there is one fighting force within that brigade, and it's because of the strength of the 14 different nations that are in it that we are so strong.
One fighting force.
If we talk about the practical Canada's presence in Latvia, at the end of October, foundation stone was laid at the other base for new maintenance and repair center, as we know, for combat vehicles funded by Canada, big investment, around 35 million euros. How exactly this will strengthen allies' ability to carry out the deterrence and the defense effectively, and why even make such an investment? Canada is far from NATO's eastern border. Who could comment on that?
Happy to talk about it quickly. So having the maintenance facilities here in situation prevents the downtime of having our vehicles on the road and operational. Maintenance has to be done just like we take our cars in every year to have them inspected. You got to do that to the big fighting vehicles as well. And being able to do that maintenance and overhaul here in situ keeps the vehicles on the ground more frequently rather than shipping them somewhere else to that second line maintenance done.
Mm-hmm. Ambassador, maybe something to add?
Well, while we have a deep connection between us, we also have an ocean between us. And for Canada, that means that we have to approach our role as framework nation in a certain way. And so we've taken on this challenge by forward deploying more of our resources here. And so with more of our resources here, our heavy equipment, our armored vehicles, for example, we have to maintain those here. So this maintenance facility is very significant for us. It's Canada's largest investment in military infrastructure in Europe in over 30 years. And it's part of a larger envelope of infrastructure projects that we're building here in different locations to support the multinational brigade and its operations.
As we mentioned before, we had the national holiday and also the president's speech yesterday. It was also the 90th anniversary of our Monument of Freedom. We know Canada has prepared some special greeting to Latvia. A video we'll watch in a moment, but maybe before that, would you like to say a few words to introduce it? One of you? Yeah?
I would love to.
Yep.
Thank you. So this is a project that's very special to us. And I hope through watching the video, you'll see that connection. And earlier you asked about connections between our people. And there's one in particular, which you will see momentarily, which is not well known and we think is very symbolic of our relationship here. And we wanted to find a way to acknowledge our close partnership, to send our warm greetings to Latvia on the 107th anniversary of the proclamation of the Republic of Latvia and on the 90th anniversary of the Freedom Monument. And over time, we managed to connect with partners, you'll see momentarily, and there's a very strong Latvian-Canadian connection throughout the film. So from us to you, a very sincere greeting, and we hope it demonstrates yet another way our people are connected.
Okay,
so let's
I think
watch a video together. We won't say goodbye yet, and tagad tiešām ir brīdis, lai mēs noskatītos šo video, par kuru runājām, kas ir Kanādas veltījums Latvijai, kas iezīmē mūsu ciešo saikni, varbūt pat dažos nezināmos sīkumos. Lūdzu.
Mums ir jābūt lepniem un cieņas pilniem pret brīvības pieminekli kā tādu, jo viņš tika uzbūvēts par tautas līdzekļiem, ieskaitot mazu bērnu krājkasītes, kas tur tika ziedotas priekš šī pieminekļa uzbūves. Tā bija likteņa lemta sakritība, ka viņš netika iznīcināts ne kara bumošanas laikā, ne arī padomju varas pieminekļa demontēšanas laikā, kā jau varas mainās, pieminekļi tiek demontēti. Šim piemineklim laimējās. Tas, ka tur brīvas Latvijas, brīvu bruņoto spēku vīri vispār stāv, par to arī mums jābūt ir ārkārtīgi pateicīgiem. Bet tie ieroči, kas viņiem stāv rokās, tas ir simbols nākotnes izredzēm un perspektīvām, kurās mēs nestāvam vieni paši pie savu brīvības pieminekļa.
In 2017, Latvia was looking for a ceremonial rifle to commemorate service. So Canada offered the Lee Enfield as a potential rifle to do just that.
The Lee Enfield rifles are a bridge between our histories and a demonstration of the values we defend together. Since Canada took on a leadership role for NATO in Latvia, the relationship and trust between our countries has grown deeply.
So Canadians are now serving in Latvia as leading the multinational brigade. Latvia deployed over 2,000 soldiers on a permanent basis.
Ņemot vērā, ka viņi ir piekrituši būt par galveno valsti mūsu NATO brigādei, kas šeit pat būs uz vietas, jebkurā brīdī, jebkurā stundā, tas, ka viņi ir uzdāvinājuši Kanādā ražotus ieročus mūsu godsardzei, ir ļoti skaists žests.
The Lee Enfield rifle is a historic weapon for Canada. It was born in 1895, and Canadian soldiers carried that rifle for 2 world wars in Europe. It was on operation until the 50s, which then was picked up by our Canadian Rangers and was basically used up until 2018. This has a huge historical meaning for Canadians.
Latvijas tauta nekad nav pazaudējusi savu mīlestību pret šo pieminekli un to, ko viņš simbolizē. Savus pēdējos prezidentūras gadus Sāku teikt runas pie brīvības pieminekļa, jo tā bija vieta, kur varēja pulcēties visvairāk cilvēku. Jebkurā svarīgā savas dzīves brīdī latvietis iet pie brīvības pieminekļa. Vēl padomi laikos, 80. gados, ka mums ļauj braukt šeit atpakaļ. Visi, kas iebrauc no ārzemēm latvieši, neaizmirst pie brīvības pieminekļa ziedus nolikt. Tā kā es domāju, ka šo turpinātību vajadzētu kopt un saudzēt un ieaudzināt saviem bērniem, jo mūsu tautai tas ir pats, man šķiet, konkrētākais simbols mūsu brīvībai un suverenitātei. Saules mūžu Latvijai!
Vakar esam nosvinējuši brīvības pieminekļa 90. gada dienu, Latvijai 107. dzimšanas dienu, un kā jau dzirdējām šajā video, tad arī anglisko tekstu nedaudz vēl iezīmējot, ietulkojot, kā jau dzirdējām ar vēstnieku sacīto, kopš Kanāda uzņēmās vadošo lomu NATO Latvijā, tad attiecības un uzticēšanās starp mūsu valstīm ir ļoti augušas, un kanādieši tagad dienē Latvijā, kā dzirdējām ar intervijā, vairāk nekā 2000 karavīru, Kanāda ir pastāvīgi šeit klāt. Un vēl interesants stāsts par ceremoniālo šauteni, ko Latvija meklēja 2017. gadā. Dienesta piemiņai Kanāda piedāvāja Lee Enfield kā potenciālo tieši šim nolūkam. Šīs šautenis ir tāds, var teikt, tilts Kanādā starp dažādām vērtībām un vēsturēm, starp mūsu vērtībām, ko mēs aizstāvam. Kanādā tas ir vēsturisks ierocis, radījis 1895. gadā, radīts, izstrādāts, kad Kanādas karavīri nesa tās šautenes divos pasaules karos, eksploatācijā līdz pagājušā gadsimta 50. gadiem tā bija, kad to pārņēma mūsu, respektīvi, Kanādas rangeri un būtībā to izmantoja līdz 18. gadam. Tagad tam ir milzīga vēsturiska nozīme nevien kanādiešiem, bet arī simboliska nozīme mums. Tā kā tāds stāsts šajā video. Protams, arī eksprezidents Vairas Vīģis Freibergas sirsnīgi sacītais par tām attiecībām, kuras pastāv starp mūsu valstīm un ir ļoti, ļoti ciešas.
Jā, un šis video mums ir dāvana no mūsu draugiem no Kanādas. Thank you so much for this present, such a lovely video. Also a very interesting story. Gust just translated it to our viewers as well. Thank you for the video message, for your wishes, for your commitment as well to Latvia's security and for the professional cooperation. We really do hope that you feel as proud and as good as we feel today, yesterday, and hopefully all the days coming after tomorrow as well. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and let those common values be kept and strengthened all day and all night long. Thank you for coming again.